All right. Tested. Okay, seem as if we are alive. Hello, guys. Nice. Guess it's a pretty excited event. So here we have our two consoles. And we will be doing the draw for the Gears of War console first. And then after that, we'll be doing the Vault-Tec. So let me get this all set up. All right, where is that wheel? Yeah, so I'm just bringing up the section that allows me to choose the winner for the draw. So let me just get that up. That's not it. Let me copy that. Wheel of names. Close that. Let's go back into. Let's get all the names in. All right. Let's. All right, so are you guys ready? Should I do the draw now or should I wait for more people to join? What do you think? All right, so I'm gonna do the first draw right now for the Gears of War console, and we'll see who our lucky winner is. All right, let's give this wheel a big spin. Okay, so we have our first winner. That's Axel. Okay, I will. All right. So yes, congratulations, Axel. You have won the Gears of War console. I will try and reach out to you, and we'll take it from there. And we're gonna do our draw for our Vault-Tec. So let me get that set up. So let's move Axel from the draw right there. And let's. Okay, so we are doing the draw for the Vault-Tec console right now. All right, so are you guys ready? All right, let's go and get that done. Okay, Modest Rat. That's our winner for our Vault-Tec console. All right, so I'm gonna be reaching out to our lucky winner. I do give a, a period of 48 hours to get back a response. If not, I would have to redo another draw with whatever console I don't get any response for. But yes, congrats to our lucky winners, and I will be reaching out to those two winners moment after this stream ends. And yeah, so for future giveaways, there'll be more giveaway coming up. I'm probably gonna do a next giveaway when I'm at like 5,000 subscribers. I'm not quite sure what the prize will be, but I know I will throw a console in the mix or probably something else. But I'm going to create a poll so you guys can actually, give a vote and we'll take it from there. So, do you guys have any question about any particular content or anything that you have seen or anything that you like to see? Yeah, thanks a lot. I'll do my best to keep making good content because one of the things that I'm really focusing on is doing research and make content for the love of it because I do love what I'm doing compared to a lot of people just make content just to get an income from YouTube. My goal is to you know provide the knowledge, share whatever I know with you guys. And I appreciate all you guys' support when I'm, doing stuff because stuff does take a long to do. I know I'm still working on the blade skin for Aurora and also the homebrew series that I'm doing in creating games for Xbox. So being that I'm a one man army, so getting stuff done do take some time, but I put my time into it so that I provide good content and not just spitting out in a little thing. So what I'm gonna do for any other color, I'm gonna do a video of a few samples, and then I'm gonna create a community poll where you guys can vote as to what the next giveaway should be. And based on that, whether there's gonna be one or two console, it all depends. Most likely, I may do two again. So the two top vote for those two new design. That's what going to be in the next giveaway. Well, I am a Gears of War fan. I love Gears of War from it came out. I remember when I got the Gears of War 3, I got the Marcus, figure thing. And I think I got the legendary pack. It came with a bunch of stuff. Yeah, so I mostly play Gears. I do play other games, but Gears is my favorite. So quick question. So otherwise, I'm covering Xbox console, whether it's Xbox 360 or whatever. Um, would you guys like to see I do coverage on other consoles, like providing, you know, information? Whether I do research and on all the modern processor or other consoles operate, I may create a different playlist for that. But in expanding your own knowledge around consoles, would you guys want to see some of that, or you rather I stick to the old Xbox ecosystem? Okay, so for my 3D printed journey, um, I first got fascinated with 3D printing when Ilugo came out with their resin printer, because at first I was a resin printer fan. I wasn't into FDM printing because at that point it was mediocre. And normally, when you're doing filament printing with the first gen printer to print like a bench, it takes overnight. And I'm like, nah, I'm not about that game. So I end up going into resin printing, and I forgot what my first printer was, but my second printer was the Jupiter, that big monstrosity. And yeah, after that, I got introduced to bamboo printers, and I was still skeptical because I was never into filament printing. But then when I saw it in person, I was kind of fascinated. I'm like, I'll give it a try. So I end up buying two P1Ss, and yeah, I've been doing filament printing ever after that. The first, because I was always into to 3D designing, so I'm a huge fan of Fusion 360. I used to do a lot of designs even before I was into 3D printing. I used to design stuff like PC workbench and everything, and I would you know do woodwork and get those things built. But then got into 3D printing. I realized that I can design stuff and print stuff, and I take pride in when I design stuff. So yeah, that's how my 3D printing journey started. Yeah. I would say a fusion is a good start. I was gonna do you know a tutorial on how to get started using Fusion and 3D printing, but I don't know, if there's an interest for it, out there. I know there's a lot of channels that covers it. and they have their own different approach. Um, if I'm to do something like that, it will be, quite basic. Just as I do my RGH 101 series, I would do my Fusion series. Like if you know nothing about Fusion, I would do how to get started, what different controls are, little tricks and so to get, your design. And I would share my design process. Um, I did do little other video yesterday on how I do prototyping. And one of their way of doing stuff for me, if I'm going to prototype something, I look up what I'm prototyping for, and I sit and I think and I ponder, and I grab a piece of paper and do up a drawing. I'll go into Fusion, do a design, print it out, try it, and see if it fits. If it doesn't fit, I go back and do a redesign. um that's how I normally do it. But if anyone is interested in me doing like a series of how to start using Fusion and mesh 3D printing with it, I yeah, I can do that. So yeah, a funny story about that, the hard drive case for the console. So what always happens is that when I mod consoles, 'cause normally the consoles that I mod and put in these cases are consoles that I actually acquired that the housing is completely destroyed. Only thing that probably functional is the board itself, and probably some of the DVD drive. So um, what I wanted to do was, to make a case for it, because normally those who go into the landfill, I'm a big environmental person. I love to save the environment or do my part. So I'm like, I can create cases for these and I can rehouse them and find a new home for them. So that was my goal. Uh, but I do get some consoles in that is immaculate. There's nothing wrong with it. But when I RGate it, I want to put a bigger drive in it. And I don't want to go on Amazon and buy just a case for the hard drive. So I wanted to search for one that someone already designed. But each one I search for, when you 3D print it, you have to find, you'd have to go to the dollar store to buy a ribbon or something to tag the end so that when you put it in, you can take it out. So I sat and I'm like, what if I design something that all you have to do is just print and put your drive in? And different drive of different thickness. I guess some manufacturers make this differently. And I want to do one size fit all, and yet you can still take your drive out without tying either some sort of thing on the end of it. So I jump into Fusion and I design it with the eject button. Take a few tries until I actually got it. I'm like, this is it. And I test out in the console with different drive, and yeah, I got it to work. Yeah, thanks a lot. And I do appreciate the support and everything, because it's sometimes it's kind of, I wouldn't say it's overwhelming in doing videos, because finding a content to do that's kind of unique and kind of have a twist on things, because there's a lot of people out there making content that I do, but I try to make mine unique. Whereas, I see someone, for example, doing a video on how to add games to your console, and there are different tools in doing it. But because not only I want to make things easier, I'm also good in doing partial scripting and so forth. So if I can create a program that makes things easier, because one thing I have to keep focusing on when I make content or guides or anything like that, I make it as if the person who's watching it as One, no idea. Two, don't have the resource that I do. Sure, I have my 3D printers, I have my soldering station. Yes, I have my microscope soldering station and everything. And I have all the equipments to do whatever mod or whatever guide. So whenever time I do a video, I have to make sure that I make it as simple as possible, and that the person who's watching, if they decide to do what I'm saying, they can do it with minimum resources. So one of the other thing I want to announce, I have a few things on a list that I want to get across. So I'm scheduling differently how I release videos. So for my RGH 101 videos, I'm releasing those every Sunday. When it comes on to anything like the blade skin videos, I'm trying to do those like either on a Wednesday or a Thursday because I want to keep things consistent. Any other videos between that, I'll come up with a schedule, but I know that the RGS 101 videos, those will be coming out on Sundays. The last one I did was about RGH, the whole deep dive and everything. The next two that's coming up is about JTAG, and I do deep dive into JTAG, and I think you guys will like that. And I have one coming up with the original Xbox, you know, the whole modding process and all that gets started. So I'm slowly coming up with educational videos, and I do my best. If you left something in the comment and say, "Hey, can you do something about that?" I'll go and do my research, and I do my best to present it to you guys in a simple form. So doing the RGH 101 once a week, because normally at first I used to put them out every other day or every 2 days. But no, I want to spend more time and do more research so I can present it, better. So I'll be doing it once a week. And so with other videos, because I want to bring you guys good content. So I want to do my research and make sure that everything, is set right to present it to you guys. Um, Crystal, see your name. Let me check something. Crystal. Okay. I saw your name is there. All right, Crystal. So I was looking to, so I saw that, yes, you were in the comments, you wanted one for your brother. Yeah, 'cause I think you entered in the first one also, but for some reason I didn't. The thing didn't pull your name in. All right. Sorry about that. I will reach out to you after the stream. I have no idea why your name didn't get pulled, added to the list, but I'll reach out to you after the stream. Uh, Plus, let me check if yours are in it. So, yes, AP plus. Your name was on the wheel also. Let me check, Nathan. Honestly, I don't know what's with the wheel. So for the old comment thing, I used something to pull the commenters, and it I think it pulled 47 unique commenters. So I don't know why some didn't make it on the wheel. Like I did see Crystal on the wheel, and let me check Nathan. Seven days ago. 3, 4, 5. Okay, and it also didn't put Nathan on the list. All right. Yeah, that's weird. So two-person was not on the list. All right, so I'm gonna bring that screen back up. I want to see who was not on that list. I'm not quite sure why. Okay. All right, so that's the wheel. So minus the two winners that won. Yeah. So these case designs, I I know I've this one on Maker World. I've made this one public yet. Um, if yeah, all based on location, because if one of my issues is shipping to different locations, like for those two winners, if they're in the States, sure I'll get it shipped to them. It's gonna be hell to do so. It's gonna be expensive as hell, but I may have to ship them one by one. If the winners are local here in Canada, shipping will be quite easy. Um, so what I'm gonna do is, if you're local here in Canada, you know, and you want one of the cases, I can do up one. The only thing you have to do is pay for shipping. It's not a problem. Um, in the States, it's very difficult to ship. Based on the last one I did, because the last giveaway with this console for me to ship to the States, and this is the issue that I'm having. I was using UPS, and UPS require too much information. I'm gonna try to use either FedEx or something if the winners are in the States. So what happened when I was using UPS, I went there and I was like, yeah, I want to ship this to the States. So they gave me a list of requirements. They're like, all right, so they can only ship express, and whoever is getting it in the States, they have to pay a $40 processing fee plus the duty on the device plus the tariff on the device. And when I kind of calculate all of that up, that's like close to about $300. And not even that, they're like, if it's a business receiving it, they want the business tax number. If it's a person receiving it, they need the person security number. And I'm like, who's gonna give that out? I'm like, it's ridiculous. But I'm gonna try a different shipping method to try and ship this out if the winners are not here in Canada. Um, if you're in Canada and you need, a case or anything like that, I don't mind printing it and send out to you guys. You just have to pay shipping. Um, I do sell consoles too on Facebook Marketplace. I do that. That's why I get to finance this channel because I don't get money from YouTube. So yeah, yeah. So my location is in Ontario, in KW. So yeah, shipping in Canada is not an issue. All right, so if the winner can't claim the prize, just like the last one, I gave the option of either Amazon or a Steam gift card. So that's what I do. So the last winner, I forgot how much the value was, but I do give the option between an Amazon or a Steam gift card. Normally, I would throw like a Xbox subscription card in it, but no one seems to want that, so I resort to Amazon or Steam. All right, so Pro Pack Gaming, your name wasn't on the wheel either. So what I'm going to do for any future giveaways, because this seems as if whatever method I'm using to grab the names are not working. Um, I may have to create a probably a link to a Google Doc where you can just simply enter by putting your YouTube ID or something. I'll have to come up with a method so that when I pull that sheet, everyone who enters will be on it, and of course the sheet won't accept duplicates. And I'll verify. I have to find some way to do this so that no one is missing off the list. I don't know why that's happened. But yeah, I totally apologize. But going forward, as I say, there will be a lot more giveaway on this channel. 'Cause this is the second giveaway. 'Cause the first giveaway was at 500 subscriber where I did giveaway for a console. Unfortunately, the person was in the States and couldn't get this because of shipping issues, so that person got an Amazon gift card. I did these two giveaway. Got this one came back into this giveaway, and hopefully things have changed that I can ship these out. Um, if I can't get them out and that person's end up getting a gift card of some sort, whenever time I do another giveaway, which I know it's piling up, but whenever time I do another giveaway, say at 5,000 subscribers, I'm gonna do giveaway for two more consoles. These two will get dropped in the mix. They end up being four consoles because whenever time I do a giveaway, I keep the consoles because it's giving back to you guys. So if you guys can get the console and I give you a gift card, these consoles go back into a draw. But hopefully shipping has changed. I'm going to try different shipping to get these out to those two winners. um I think that's my major issue, is the whole shipping thing. It sucks, I know, but I have no control over it. Yeah, thanks a lot, Propat Gaming. Yeah, I always try to give back, because you guys have support this channel a lot, and I appreciate the support. All right, so the marketplace listing. Just give me a moment. I should be able to bring that up. Sure, listing. So I'm gonna try and put the listing in the chat itself. All right. So I don't have any of those in stock right now. So the only thing I have, I'll grab one down that I haven't posted yet, but I have this console I have to post today on Marketplace, because I do sell the console. Like the print itself, I've never actually anyone who want to buy the print itself, but when I redo consoles, I do sell these consoles on Marketplace. So if someone say, "Hey, I would like one of your console, but I want a different design," and I charge a small fee for a different design, because I have to design it and reprint and everything. But yeah, I do have these console on Marketplace that I do sell, and this one is up for sale also, 500 gig. So I do sell those. But if someone wants me to print a case set, with everything, I can print those and actually send. Okay, so my prints, like for these, I can link my Maker World in the chat because I do have these that you can totally. Uh, well, I have the Gears of War one. I haven't put this one up as yet. But if I want to print the Gears of War console shell, that is on Maker World, so I can drop my Maker World link in the chat if anyone else is interested in printing stuff. Um, Basically everything I cover on this channel, except for the hard drive and the low profile fan frame that I did the past 2 weeks, but everything else is on Maker World. So the thing for the 3.5-inch drive and everything, that's on Maker World. Like all those things are there. So I can drop that link if you guys want to try and print stuff. All right, let me grab that up. Just give me a moment. I think I can grab it from here. All right, so that's the Maker World link. Yeah, and I do have the CAD file also. So if you guys want to actually get the step file, I have that also in the listing. Because I think if you try to download the 3MF file, you only get a certain set. But if you go down to the option that says CAD file, you get the whole collection. So that you can actually edit those. It's fine, you know. Even though in the description I put the whole, what do they call that thing, remix and everything. I think that listing doesn't allow it, but at the time when I posted that, I didn't want people actually going through and remix or try to repurpose stuff that I did, because I put a lot of work in it. And being that, you know, I'm not selling it, but I'm providing that you guys can actually use it. But it's fine. You guys can play around with it. Regarding the hard drive, so the one for the hard drive I haven't posted as yet, because there's a few things I want to do to it. Let me grab one of those. Yeah, because it has a nice thing here that when you can actually pull the drive out once you insert into the console and everything. I wanted to, I may leave it as it is, But just like the original drive where it have a spring loaded section, once you put it in and it snaps in, I want to add that feature to one of these, but I may just leave it as it is. I may add the feature. I'm not quite sure. I'll play around with it because one other thing, rather than going and buying one of these either from another site or from Amazon, I'll provide it for you guys, you know, to mm, to download and print. Um, it's just I believe in, you know, I wouldn't say freedom. I'm growing up. I used to love watch Robin Hood. This is steal from the rich and give to the poor. I'm not really stealing. I just want to provide you guys because not everyone has money to go out and buy something. You know, and I have to think outside the box that not everyone want to go and go on Amazon and buy something, and you're like, I have a printer. You search for it to print something and it doesn't fit, or you still have to buy something else to go with it. So I do my best to make my design worthwhile. But yeah, I may put that up later on. Just want to make sure that it's working properly, and then I'll post it on Makerel also. So Gory Monkey, what city are you in? They say you're really close. All right. So for Crystal, I try to go to reach out to you, but I can't through your channel. Are you on my Discord by any chance? All right, so what I'm gonna do, I'll drop the invite to my Discord. Well, the channel Discord. All right. So for all the cases, I use PLA. I put the settings to strength. I think in my slicer I'm using Bamboo Lab, so I set it to strength, and then what I do, I for the infill pattern I use honeycomb because that's the strongest. That's what I do. What printer do you have? Okay, A1. What's your bed dimension? I don't remember what the A1 bed was. Uh, can I open one of these? Xbox 360. Okay, so you can print it. All right, so I'm gonna show you what settings I use when I'm doing it. So normally send to strength. So let me go down the quality. I so for strength, when I choose strength, the only thing I change is the infill pattern. I change to honeycomb because that's the technical, that's the strongest pattern for the orientation that's going to be printed in. For the layers, I don't really change anything here in quality except for um, ironing. I think I choose topmost surface. Yeah, I think that's about it that I did for this one. But the other thing I changed in strength is this section. So that will make this more durable. Yeah, so mine is the same build volume, so yours will fit just as how it looks in Bamboo Studio. When you're printing the top, there is a few things that you have to change because you can't use a prime tower in the top because it fills up the plate. That's one thing you can't do. So you have to turn off your prime tower. Um, if you're using a darker color like what I do, you don't have to worry about color bleeding. You'll be fine. So you won't see the color mix. If you're using a light color like white or lime green or anything like that for the base filament, you will see a few color bleed. But for darker colors, the printer does well to clean the nozzle, so and do the purge, so you won't actually see any color bleed. Because most of these that I printed, I didn't use a prime tower to do these. Neither on this section, I didn't use a prime tower, and there's no color bleed between the blue and the yellow. All right. And if you have any question regarding the 3D printing thing, you can just either drop a question in my Discord or in the comment, and I'll do my best to answer it. Whether it have to do with the printing itself or designing something. That if you have a 3D printer, using Fusion to design something, it's I wouldn't say it's easy, but with the it's user friendly. That's what I like about Fusion 360 compared to other 3D printed other 3D designing software that I've used. Okay, I'll show you that where you have to disable the prime tower. So if you go to others and this section where it says prime tower, you have to turn this off when you're doing the top with the multicolor. So you have to keep this off, because if you don't, one, you'll get an error that's saying that there's conflict between the part you're printing, and two, your prompter will print in your print, and you don't want that to happen. So yeah, you just turn off the prompter when you're doing the top with the multicolor, and you'll be fine. Oh, you're welcome, Falling Up 48. If you're doing a single color, there won't be any need for a prime tower. I don't think the slasher will even put a prime tower in it, because you only need the prime tower when you're doing color change. So, like for the base, you won't need a prime. You don't need to touch that setting. But if you're doing the top and you're not gonna change the colors, because the colors are normally changed when you go under object. All right, I'm gonna load up one of the top and let you see what I mean. So, so let's do. All right, let's do a top. All right, so notice for the top itself, on the object, on the plate, I have different colors, and that's for the underneath here. Okay, let's get that away from that area. So I turn off the prime tower, because if I didn't, let's go back under here. If I didn't turn it off, the prime tower will end up in the print, and you'll get a warning that the prime tower is too close, and there may be collision. So what I do is just disable the prime tower, and this will allow you to print, and it will do extra purging so that there's no color crossing over. But because this is black, so in the infill of the print itself, if it purge black or white in it, you won't see it. But if it was the other way around, where the base was white and there's any purging up in between these color, you would have seen it in. But yeah, you just have to go on the others and disable the prime tower if when you're doing the top. Yeah, I have no idea to turn that on. Um, I guess that's something I'll figure out in the future, or to get that figured. Well, the thing is, I think this is the first stream I'm doing for my channel since I started doing this. But I will figure things out as time goes by, so people can leave tips and so forth. Getting the stream up, it took me like probably 10 minutes, because YouTube was refusing to let me stream because I scheduled a stream and there's a go stream button and it was grayed out. And I'm like, why can't I click go live? So I have to recreate the stream again and let everyone come over to this one. So for me, it's a learning process, but I think I'll be able to do that. Yeah, I appreciate that. Yeah, I'll look into it. Um, so for live stream, I'm thinking, I don't know how often I'll go live stream. I don't know if it's something that you guys would want me to do so we can discuss stuff. One of the thing I want to bring up is the blade skin. So I've been working on the blade skin. I don't know how much person is anticipating that getting finished, but I've been working on it. There is a few a few bugs. Like for most of the part, it works. Right? I would say 80% of it works. Um, I do run into some issues, and the issues I'm running into is the way Aurora is designed compared to how the blade skin is designed. Yeah, thanks for that. So the thing about the blade skin is that, as I explained in a few of my videos, Aurora is designed to use, I would say, one screen. The blade skin have different transition. So whereas you're using Aurora, you're presented with your dashboard where you're scrolling across your library, and let's use a easier example on PowerPoint. So in PowerPoint, you have different slides. Um, Aurora basically will be using one slide to do everything. You know, your library and all the menus you go into, those are overlaid that will come up with the one slide. Whereas the blade skin uses five different slides, and each slide does something different. So because Aura can only manage one slide, I have to find a way to manipulate it where when it goes on each slide, Aurora is seeing one slide where there's actually five slides. So sometimes information may not get transferred over to a particular slide. So you go to like the personalization tab and certain things might be missing or certain information haven't been carried over from the Aura database. So I found a way to make that work, but there's certain function that is just really stubborn, like game details. Like no matter how much time I try, you open game details and it doesn't give the detail of the game that you're on unless you press right or left trigger. And then when you press B, it doesn't want to close that overlay menu. But I'm slowly figuring it out because there's no documentation for Aurora, and most of the code, the source code, when I look on it, it's not commented. It's no inline comment. So I have to use my coding knowledge to say, all right, that section does that, but I'll get it done. It's just a slow process, and I want to make sure that there's as least bug as possible when it's finished. Yeah. So I've tried to put video in the skin itself. I know for the original Aurora, you can actually find a way to put video in it. But when I'm dealing with the blade skin, the program that I'm using, the UI tool, it allows me to put a clip in it, which is Windows Media Player file, and it had to be version 9. But for the life of me, I can't find a program that actually used the version 9 codec for me to actually convert the videos file properly. Okay, if you notice, my last blade skin video, I did a kind of a load screen similar to when you turn on a console with the blade skin, but I have to do it by frame, and I had to had like probably like 30 to 40 frames in it and sync it with the sound so that once you load the skin, you see the old Xbox spinning thing, just like the blade skin, and it loads into the blade skin itself. Um, Whenever time I add a video to the blade skin itself, it either doesn't show or I get a green screen. Based on my research, you're saying that that's a codec issue. It has to be Windows Media Player version 9 codec. And I've been searching for a program that does that, that doesn't cost a arm and a leg. But yeah, I've yet to find any. So if anyone knows of any, I'll be grateful. They can just drop it in the comment or on my Discord, because that's one of the thing why I don't add too much features to it. And one thing with the blade skin, I realize if I had too much function to it, it slows it down. So I have to look into that also, because I don't want it to just look good. I want it to be functional, right? So I don't want any slow down or anything like that, because there's so much transition in it. I want to make sure that it's usable, not only looking good. So I have to keep that in mind when I'm doing a design also. All right. So I will be ending the stream soon. I did add my Discord link in the chat. So anything that you guys want to talk about or continue discussing, like we can do it over on Discord. All right, so I haven't seen a response from Crystal. Hopefully she joins the Discord. All right, so I want to thank you guys for joining. Like it's been a great pleasure, talking to you guys and getting feedback and everything. Congratulations to our two winners. For persons that didn't make the list, I have no idea what happened, but reach out to me on Discord. You know, um, I'll figure something out. As for for Crystal, you have entered into two draws. The first one for the console, and this one, I have no idea why your name didn't appear in the list when I did the extraction from the comments section. I tried to reach out to you, but there's no way to contact you on your channel. So I left a link to the Discord in the chat, so you can join Discord and we can figure something out there. And yeah, so thank you guys again. Well, looking forward to doing more streams. You know, if that's something you guys want, I can do more streams and getting stuff done, and you can ask questions, and I could, you know, relay answers. So yeah, so thanks again, and I'll see you guys in the next one.